Little Yuki here. Just a little reminder. This content is not for the faint of heart, nor is it for those who are under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised. I came to in my room, and Lorenzo was sitting in the chair across from my bed. I realized I was tied down completely in white silk. Lorenzo asked, "What's going on? This is your family, right?" I wanted to answer him, but the silk in my mouth made it nearly impossible for me to speak. However, I sat there mumbling, even though I knew it was pointless. I sat up a little bit to try to see him. I didn't realize he was strapped down to the chair. Mother walked into the room, wearing a skimpy outfit. It appeared as some black waist-high shorts and a short red shirt that had huge ruffles covering her shoulders and under her arms, as if they were going behind her back. She wore fishnet tights under it to cover her legs, and the bow she wore over her head was made almost the same way. She walked over to me and grabbed me from under my chin, examining me, and then she said, "It's so nice to have my darling Saren home." She threw my head against the bed and finished, "I'm with a young man." Walking towards Lorenzo, Mother asked him, "How old are you?" He answered, 24. "Did you complete school?" She went on, "I'm currently working on my master's degree," he replied. She was now in his personal space. "Kids?" she screamed. "None," he answered. She began walking towards me. She suddenly stopped and turned around. "Did you threaten and or drug Saren while she was with you?" Lorenzo laughed and said, "No, ma'am." I had no reason to. Annoyed by the situation, I began attempting to wiggle my way out of the bed. Just as I got to the edge, a pair of giant arms came down and grabbed me, who began to put me back in the middle of my bed, but Mother told him to take 5 steps back and drop me. Normally, a 6-foot fall would be a small jump to me. Although being tied up like this, I felt like a cheerleader that had no spotter. The way I was dropped caused my ankles to sprain. I wanted to cry, but it would only make my mother's wrath more fierce. I lied on the floor in agony. Mother yelled, "Pick her up." These arms again grabbed me, as gently as they did last time. I remember these arms, though last time I saw them, they were tiny. With my eyes filled with tears, I looked up to see Hyde holding me, and he had such sorrow in his eyes. He mouthed, "I'm sorry," almost crying when Mother told him to strip me down and lie me over the coffee table. Mother then said, 32. That's how many hours you had me worried. And 8 more for not letting me know where you were when we talked over the phone. Hyde, you will execute your sister's punishment." I could not understand what my mother was thinking. Tasking 280 pounds of muscle that you call a man, but inflicting pain on a small person like myself. She was crazy. I mean, Hyde is past, and I mean past, the status of a bodybuilder. Mother then sat on Lorenzo's lap and taunted towards me. "And Saren, I want you to count out loud. Hyde and I both sighed as Mother reached behind the seats and pulled out a long metal stick with a small cloak of leather at the end. Hyde began by rubbing it across my backside, telling me that this was called a crop. My body trembled with anticipation for what kind of pain this crop may bring. Hyde began to swing, but just as the crop made contact with my body, Lorenzo spoke out. "Wait, I will take her punishment." Mother then laughed and said, "You're very noble, but your kindness will only cause her more grief." Then Mother screamed out at Hyde. 20 more, Hyde complained. "But that is 60. Mother said, "Is that not enough? Or do you need to go to 100? Perhaps you will get tired before 60. Hyde sighed once more and began. The first strike was extremely painful. The anxiety of the pain caused me to hesitate. Mother then started. "I can't hear you," Hyde said. "I have executed the first of many." Mother said, "I am talking to Saren, or should I say wine." When I finally caught my breath, with the least amount of emotion I've ever had in my life, I began to count. 1, 2, 3. By the time we got to 20, both of my buns felt as though someone was trying to cut them off. Lorenzo started screaming, "I can't take this anymore, please." Hyde looked at Lorenzo and said, "For her safety, you will be silent." Mother then told Hyde to continue. Hyde drew his hand back. I closed my eyes to brace myself. Mother said at the same time I did, 21, to make sure that I was on the correct number. When we made it to 25, Mother removed herself from Lorenzo's lap. She poured an entire bag of salt on my bedroom floor. She then turned to Lorenzo. "Your turn," she said with excitement. Out of my mother's breast came a taser gun. She looked at Lorenzo with her intense eyes and said, "If you try to strike me, run, or anything else of that nature, I will shock you." Lorenzo replied, "I understand." Hyde and I finally made it to 30. I was now on my toes. For every time he swung, I was unable to stand still. Lorenzo sat on his knees in the salt Mother placed on the floor. And by the time we got to 50, Lorenzo's knees were bloody red. "Mrs. Cross," Lorenzo questioned, "how long must this punishment go on?" Mother answered, "As long as it takes Saren and Hyde to get finished." "You hear that, Saren? Your actions will prolong his torment." 58. I'm losing my will to stand. 59. Hyde said, "You only have one left." He began to swing, and Mother stopped him and said, "I will do it." Mother reached into the closet and pulled out a big bullwhip. Hyde looked at Lorenzo and then looked at Mother. Hyde then grabbed my hands, locking his fingers with mine. Hyde, Lorenzo, and I all took a deep breath Mother said, "Are you ready?" Hyde then said, "I will finish her counting." I heard the wind from the whip. I began to breathe heavy. As Mother struck, everyone in the room stopped breathing for a moment. Hyde and Lorenzo both sighed and said 60. Mother then said, "We can now go on with our everyday lives. Love you, Jen." If you like this kind of content, then don't be afraid to dominate that like button, share it with your friends, torture that bell, and subscribe for more content. And never forget, Daddy loves you.